Hello and welcome to this week's Man, I'm Too Old For This. I am your host for this one, the Todd Father, and joining me,
the experience that some call Jason.
CDO 113.
Token low battery, Tarky.
He's sleepy.
And in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the state of fandom. Not what the companies are giving you, the people that are consuming this stuff.
I agree.
All right.
What are we supposed to say? Yes, that is what we're talking about. We discussed this before I turned the camera on. Yes, yes.
All right. So I came up with this because I was talking to some guys online about the ending of Hickman's X-Men miniseries kind of thing. Powers of 10, the number 6 came out yesterday, and I put up a little statement that said Hickman's X-Men has basically given the X-Men the same motivation that the evil humans had back in the X-Men's heyday. Spoiler warning, because if we get too far into this, I will basically be giving up what happened in that last one. So if you haven't read it yet, you might want to read it before you watch this, just in case it goes there. Shouldn't go in there too much, but it might.
It probably will.
Unfortunately,
It will.
I cannot do that for myself as I have not read it. It's going to get spoiled for me.
Yay! Then I get to ruin somebody's life.
I mean, 10 minutes of my life, dog. I don't invest that heavily into X-Men. Sorry.
Tarky is playing the role of what's wrong with fandom. I'll read this shit.
No. Problem is that some people invest far too heavily in bad directions.
And that's what I'm wanting to talk about is the fanatics, the fans that go fanatic in the truest sense of the word. You know, ones that get a little too strange, a little too into it. Or the types that the only thing you have to do is name it something and they're automatically 100% behind it. Joker would be a good example of that.
You mean Taxi Driver update?
Right. And that's the thing. It's Taxi Driver.
Which, if you have not seen it, it's a De Niro movie. Excellently done. Dude goes off the deep end. And that's pretty much Joker.
And it's king of comedy, too.
But it's, instead of, a taxi driver, it's, a comedian doing it.
Yeah. And like I said, it's the king of comedy. It's heavily king of comedy, too. But the trick is, it's one thing it's not is Joker.
Yeah.
It's not Joker. It's not. The director before it went, it's Joker in name only. No, it's the greatest thing that's changed comic book movies, and it's no, it's they took Taxi Driver and said, what if this is Joker?
It's almost like J.J. Repeat Abrams did a Joker movie.
And the
Because he's going to
fact
rip
that
all
they
everything
put
else.
De Niro in it.
Well, that's hanging a hat of it.
Yeah.
This is obviously one of our inspirations. Bam, here's one of the actors. Right?
Hell, wasn't he king of comedy too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It's a double hat.
Yeah.
It's a hat on a hat.
But it's literally kind of you got a section of fandom that really the only thing you got to do is name it. Oh, this is Transformers. Well, they don't look right, they don't act right, they don't sound right, they don't turn into the right thing. Yeah, but it's Transformers.
No.
No. Not.
Now, I haven't seen Joker, from what I've heard of it. It may actually be a decent movie, though.
That's fine. It should not change, but if you look at the talk around it, oh, this is innovative for comic book movies, and
if that's coming from somebody that doesn't keep up with the books, that's got into comic book movies but hasn't kept up with the books.
See, that's the...
Then I can kind of see them doing that.
yeah, but this is people that are supposedly fans.
See,
Yeah, you got a lot of people that just watch the movies that claim to be fans of the books.
the discussion I got into it with about the movie and comic books and stuff like that was with a friend of mine that I used to work with. And it was one of those things of, okay, you have to remember, they're doing this over here in their own little universe because, okay, they may mention Thomas Wayne. They may mention X, Y, and Z. Batman ain't in this movie. And Joker without Batman is like a fish out of water. It don't really work. Yes, he's a homicide. They've created a homicidal maniac that's had a nervous breakdown. And he goes on a killing spree or whatever. But that's how many other dramas or horror movies,
But they stamp joke on it.
Yeah, they
And then
stamp
it's-
it with
and then
a
it's-
comic book title, and all of a sudden we're supposed to, as old school readers go, oh yeah, that's exactly. No, that's not Joker's origin.
But that's my point. A lot of people have. A lot of people that, oh yeah, I'm this big, and you sit there and go, it's Wanted. Remember when we walked out of Wanted going, that had absolutely nothing to do with Wanted the book. Why in the hell did they even bother to pay for the names?
Yeah.
Because they could have just done a damn movie.
See, I
But
never
they wanted-
read any of the Wanted books. I saw the movie and it's like, okay, pretty good action movie. But everybody that I knew that had read the books was like, that's not had nothing to do with
Yeah.
books. And I'm like, okay,
It
that's
ain't
fine.
got.
It's hot garbage.
It's not hot garbage as a movie. It ain't got nothing.
Well, until you find out they can order
Yeah.
a loom.
Well, yeah. How dare you insult the
The
Luke
dude.
dude?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dude.
But it's
It's
even
it's one of those things where it's almost like they go, we've got this movie we want to do. Comic book movies are hot. Let's try to drag the comic book crowd into this.
well, that's always been my question with some parts of fandom. What are you exactly a fan of? Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you go, well, I like Star Wars. Okay, we give you a movie that takes everything. If you were a fan of the previous movies. We take that and basically crumble it up and throw it in the trash, and then you still like it. You start to go, well, what are you a fan of? Are you just a fan of the name?
Well, see, it's like Jennifer and I were watching a sitcom the other night, and you had this dude. He was flirting with a chick. And he goes, "You remind me of that lady from the Avengers movies." And the girl goes, "Oh yeah, I love it when Superman does such." And I'm sitting there looking like, okay, if you watched the Avenger movie, you should know Superman wasn't in it. If you watched the Justice League
Where did
movie
you pick this up at?
on a sitcom,
Oh, well, that was probably him trying to be funny.
yeah. But I mean, I've seen people in real life do that, and I'm
Some
like,
people are not into this crap.
yeah.
I mean, they just go watch a movie because the movies are the big thing.
I'm not talking about those folks. I'm talking about the folks that say I'm into it, and still will accept something that's.
Yeah, some of them are liars. I mean, some of them have seen the movie, and it's like they want cred for being a big fan. No, you're a big fan of the movie. It's fine.
Let me-
say you're a big fan of the movie.
I'll give you an example of a comic book movie that made a change to the character, but it was believable because of an update. The Thomas Jane Punisher movie. He had been a military guy and
Starky Mock.
I don't want to make an example out of you, so I'll leave you be.
well, what I'm saying is, like, instead of him being a Vietnam vet, they updated and he was a Gulf War veteran and a cop. His parents still died, or his family still died. You know, it was they worked it in there, but they didn't take 20 years of time to say, okay, here's this. They showed you, hey, from the beginning, he's got these skills.
I literally would have used every damn movie in the MCU. They've all made changes.
Yeah, they've all made changes,
But
that was the one that popped in my
you
head.
didn't go to Captain America and go, who in the hell is that supposed to be? What I'm talking about when you go, well, I love Captain America. Well, what's this? Well, now he's a Nazi. Huh? It's, well, what the hell are you a fan of? Because you can change enough that it stops being the thing that you...
Like the TriStar Godzilla.
Yeah, I walked out of that one going off because there wasn't... That's Godzilla bullshit.
No, that was a giant lizard that
Well,
laid eggs.
If they had gone, this is our update of the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, I wouldn't have been mad at it. Because it was a hell of a lot closer to it than it was Godzilla.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about is, well, I'm a fan. I always ask, well, what the hell are you a fan of? The thing with the X-Men right now is you go, well, I'm a big X-Men fan. They ain't acting right. They doing some foul shit. So, what are you a fan of? Is it, because if you go, well, I like them because, they're a group of minorities fighting for justice. So, when you get rid of that, you still like them? I'm not talking about the quality of the story. It's got a great story. It's not a heroic story. It ain't a good X-Men story. It's just not. And that's coming from somebody that I enjoy reading it. but it ain't a good X-Men story.
No.
You leave that damn thing and it's like, oh, and it's
It's a story about the mutants as a people, as a whole, going, okay, this is what we suffer, and this is this person who's jumped through.
And this is what we're
multiple lives.
going to do to the other guys now.
Yeah, we're going to be the aggressor, not the passive.
Which means you're not the hero.
Yeah, they're not the
fixing
hero.
the system.
and that's my point. If you're reading comic book movies for good, you want a protagonist, and I tend to I read comic book movies because
Where you read comic movies.
well, I read comic books, whatever, for a morality tale, and when you basically go,
Nobody in this story has any morals.
it's very Ultimates, and I said
Yeah.
that on the podcast that we did about it first.
One
It's
character
very-
had morals, and then they were talked out of him very, very, very quickly.
Well, he's looked at as a chump. I mean, that's really how they're looking at him right now. Is he's a sucker.
Which character is
Xavier. Xavier's kind of his tenuous grip on morality is kind of looked at as he's naive. This sucker over here still wanting to do this. I'm not saying, hell, if I was a mutant, I'd be Magneto. I would not take crap. If you step to me wrong, it would not end well for you. By that same token, I ain't starting it. If it was, we're gonna be rough as heck. If somebody does something to us, the response ain't gonna be pretty. I ain't got a problem with that. Hickman's X-Men, they starting shit. They starting shit and then claiming victimhood. Oh, you don't want our drugs? We're gonna have a black market to funnel those drugs into your country anyway. Now, when they respond to your ass, then it's, oh, but we're poor beat up mutants. No, you running dope.
Drug dealers at that point.
Yeah, you are literally running. We said we don't want your drugs. You're going to put your drugs in my country anyway.
You're a drug cartel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not a hero. And to do that, and you don't really have an excuse for that. Well, I'm oppressed, so I got the green light to do whatever the fuck I feel like doing to you. And then when I do that and you hit me back, then I'm the victim.
And the thing of them forming a country, that brings the UN into it, and it's like you can't claim a victim anymore. And as an individual, that's like, okay, you're saying that you're oppressed. How are you oppressed? We've all recognized you as a nation. You have the same responsibilities we do.
You have nations claim victimhood regularly.
Yeah.
Sometimes when often when they're the aggressor.
And that's kind of my point. When you have the fandom and you talk to them about it, it's like, yeah, because they finally doing this. Well, then, if you're sitting there cheerleading that, and you claim to be like an X-Men fan, hell, whether you were a fan of the cartoon in the 90s, if you were a fan from them in the 80s, wherever you fit in there, you missed the point.
Yeah.
You missed the point. The point was they were trying to be better. They were trying to change the system, not their place in it. And that is literally what they've done. Is they've said, I don't mind oppression. I don't mind this system. I just want to be the one doing the shit to people.
Yeah.
Which fits for partially fits Magneto and pretty much fits Apocalypse.
Apocalypse never claimed victimhood.
No,
Apocalypse was pure Darwinian.
No, just being I want to be on top. I don't care if the system really changes.
Yeah. That I'll give you. Magneto, not quite so much depending on what era him. If you go old school Magneto, where he was the mustache twirling supervillain, yeah. Because his whole thing was, I want world domination. Because he didn't really give that big a fuck about other mutants. The ones that were in the Brotherhood, he routinely mistreated them.
Yeah.
He just wanted to be top dog, period. Magneto, under Claremont, starting kind of like in the mid-'80s somewhere, Magneto's thing was, this system needs to go. And if you don't want to change your system, I'm fine with creating something over here to just leave me the hell alone. His attempts at like Asteroid M and hell, even Genosha and all that kind of shit was always Avalon was always. Y'all do it. I see you don't like us. To hell with you. I'm starting a mute state here. I'm gonna be here with my people. If you leave us the hell alone, we leave you the hell alone. But if you attack me, it's on. I have no problem with that. I would have no problem if the X-Men took that approach and basically said, I see you ain't never gonna get no better. F you. We'll create utopia over here. I'm out. But that ain't what they're doing.
No, that's not what they're doing. If you look back at the old Wakanda, they were an isolationist state. You know, if you attack them, they let one person go to tell the tale. Don't come back here. When they brought Wakanda into the headlights, as it were, both on screen and off in the books, it was one of those things still of, look, we're an independent state. Don't come in here thinking you're going to change us. We'll be friendly with anybody, but don't start none. There won't be none.
Yeah,
and
and I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
I don't have a problem with basically X-Men going, hey, I'm done kissing your ass.
Yeah,
I'm totally cool with that. My problem is when they become, I'm the aggressor.
Yeah,
I'm going to declare myself your new god.
And that's it exactly. And when you have folks go, yeah, that's finally X-Men. Well, you just invited the Sentinels. Because when you show up talking about I'm your new god, you ain't trying to be equal. You trying to be my master. You ain't going to be my damn master. You kill that shit. That's out. You have basically, when he made that statement to who he made it to, you basically just greenlit every damn Sentinel they ever thought of.
Yep.
Because nobody's gonna ride with that, and you don't get to play victim. I'm your new god. Like hell you are, but I'm the victim. No, you ain't.
Yeah, the minute you start that.
You want to be Hitler, and I'm fighting your ass. And that's, like I said, I like the story, but I don't like the fact that Hickman has made the Klan have a point. The Klan ain't got no point. It shouldn't have a point. And it makes me look at the whole damn thing funny because, like I said, when they attacked the Mother Mole, I was pulling for the people because the people were the damn underdogs. And if they were doing that on their own, that's one thing. Yes, motherfuckers trying to do some genocidal crap. They gotta go. But when you've come out and basically said, if I have my way, you're gonna be my footstool, then all of a sudden Sentinels have a point. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that.
Yeah. So, suddenly having Nimrod around,
is comforting.
Yeah. And he's never been comforting.
No, it's a fucking killing machine. It's...
Even Happy Fun Time.
Yeah, even Happy Fun Time Nimrod's a killing machine. And the thing is, in Powers of 10 number 6, you get to see the end result of where all that's going. And like I said, you've had people go, well, I like it. I like it. I like the story. Again, that's another thing with the fandom is you can't critique something without being a hater.
Yeah.
That's just kind of society now in general.
Yeah, just how polarized everything is.
If you go...
You have to pick a team, and you have to be...
And you have to be...
hog on that team.
And you have to be 100%, this is the greatest damn thing I've ever seen, and it's amazing, and it's original, and all this. If you don't basically just start a fucking parade for it, then you dislike it. No. I am an older generation. I'm more complex than that. I can enjoy something and still see the things that went wrong.
Yeah. I believe in God. I call myself Christian. I don't go to a building of a church on a regular basis. I prefer watching, services on TV. But when I was a kid and going, I was that teenage kid that would be more than happy to have discussions about what I read in the Bible, and what the definition or translation of it meant. And it used to make the adults so mad. How dare you? You can't. You're just a child.
Society won't sheep.
Yeah, and I refused to be that. And okay, you want to read this and you want to dissect it to this, fine. I'll talk with you about it till the cows come home. But don't act like you're hanging on a cross because of it. Don't act like I've run you out of town on a rail. That ain't what's going on. if anybody on Facebook or in real life wants to have a discussion with me, great. I'll talk about just damn near anything. But don't paint me to be the bad guy because I don't have your opinion on it.
And that's what everybody wants these days is
Binary.
Well,
yeah.
the big push on that is because with how fast the access to information is, giving an opinion is more like giving a statement of this is what I believe the facts to be. Like you can't give an opinion and someone look at it and go, okay, well you know, I'll now state my opinion, you can go take, the rest of your work day, think about it, come back. No, you have to have the correct answer to whatever random ass thing got said within 15 seconds or suddenly you're stupid. And it becomes something of polarizing where I've dug my ditch and I have to fight in it. No matter what I said, it may have been a 5-minute impression I said, but now I'm having a fight for 3 weeks in this position that I've put myself in by accident.
Which makes, which is truly kind of dangerous because then it's literally, well, you have to think this, and we all have to think this, and we all have to move the same direction, we all have to.
Well, that's like, let's look at Batwoman. You've only had one episode come out. The critics loved it. The second bad reviews from viewers start showing up on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, it's been review bombed. Well, no, it may have just sucked.
Jennifer and I actually watched it. Well, it was, if you like any of the other CW shows about their heroes and whatnot like that, it fits right in with all that. It takes place before the last time you saw her in the bat suit, because it's her origin. And when she shows up, she remembers Cousin Bruce. She remembers, the Batman running around. She didn't.
My bringing up Batwoman wasn't to critique the show. I have not seen the show. I wasn't super impressed with the trailer, and truthfully, the CW writers have kind of run me off all those shows. I'm just using that as an example of something I read recently. That as soon as somebody starts criticizing something, on Rotten Tomatoes specifically, they start making up excuses. Well, it's bots. Well, no, it may be the people viewing it, may be their opinion.
Well, what I was going to say is, like, when we watched it, Jennifer goes, now, is she in the books? And I said, yeah, she's in the books. It's a different character in the books, and the origin of that character was different. But, yeah, Batwoman herself is in the books. And, this would be different. And, the time frame this is supposed to be taking place
depending on what you did, because the TV show, yes, that's Batwoman currently, right down to the.
Well, not her being cousin Bruce. Having
well,
cousin
yeah,
Bruce
it's
and all that.
not the cousin, no.
Yeah, I mean
the name and all that shit. But what Jason was saying, if I got that right, is what he's talking about is, again, you got.
If you didn't love it instantly, something's wrong with it.
Well, the trick is, now there's a correct answer for fandom.
Yeah.
There's a correct answer. Captain Marvel comes out. The correct answer is you like it.
It is the greatest thing ever. Then why did Black Panther make more money? Shut up!
Yeah.
This is the greatest thing since ever.
There is a correct answer for fandom. Or else, you're a bad person.
Yeah, that tends to be where it goes.
And that's the thing. Like I said, I put up that thing yesterday. It says, Hickman's X-Men Hickman has given the X-Men basically the same motivation as the evil humans of old. And I get, well, you don't like it, well, it's this, and you're attacking it. I love the book. That's the first thing I read every Wednesday is either House of Powers. I love the story. But the fact that I like something doesn't change what the hell the damn story is.
Yeah. I'll give you a good example of something you've read that you could see, points of, but you don't agree with. When I was in high school, I was in ROTC, and one of our instructors was talking about the differences in governments and dictatorships and whatnot like that. Because of his position, he had copies of Mein Kampf, General... he had a bunch of the different, what you would consider the communist.
Same thing as the Art of War.
Yeah, and he was showing us, like, okay, in this book, this is where they draw this. In this book, this is where they draw this. This is where they draw that. Are they politically motivated statements? Yes. Some are based in facts. Some are based in opinions. Some are based in, just the rhetoric of the day. But these are doctrines that people believe. And he goes, in every lie, there is a grain of truth. And, he pointed that out. He said, now you can have opinions on any of this or just ignore it. That doesn't change the fact that it's not there. And the same thing with comic books. They make a movie or put out a book. You like it or don't like it, that's fine. You're entitled to an opinion either way. You like it, don't like it, could care less. But the minute you express your opinion, be prepared, and especially in today's time, somebody's going to barrage you. Well, how dare you not like that they changed such and such?
You put a target on yourself.
You put a target on yourself. And it's one of those things of, I think, like he said,
everything has to be co-signed.
Yeah.
In other words, if I like Ghost Rider, it's like my enjoyment is lessened unless all of you like it too. And whether you like it or not, we have to talk about Ghost Rider as being the greatest damn character that ever existed. Or else, there's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I've always
That's social prison kind of shit.
I've always been the odd man out on stuff like that. I was an only child. I learned to think for myself at an early age.
You damn Sagittarius.
Yes, I'm a Sagittarius. So, like, I'm sure if you can see some of the stuff I've got in the room here, if I like something, that's because I like it. It's not because, 12 other people like it or gave me permission to like it. I liked Ghost Rider before everybody else did. I liked the Punisher, in some of his different incarnations. Some of them, like, Franken Punisher, never did get that one. Never did get Angel Punisher. But, okay, they want to do something new. They want to take a character in a different direction. Fine. That don't mean I have to like it just because I like the Punisher or just because I like this character. And, don't crucify me and call me the villain because I didn't agree with everything you put out as a company or as a movie studio.
Because that's really what the companies are doing these days.
And, Captain Marvel. It was a fine action movie. It wasn't the best, Marvel movie they've ever put out. But, I enjoyed it. Jennifer enjoyed it. But I wouldn't, Black Panther was better. Captain America was better.
There's a whole lot of shit was better.
I've seen B-grade movies that I enjoyed more than major motion pictures. Just because the way they handled the story, the way the actors, handle things. Were the cinematics better? No, they could have used some work. But I suspended disbelief there for a little while I watched that, or a book that never made the top 10 list. I've got several of them on my shelf that I read and I thoroughly enjoy, and I've read more than once. And people are like, "Who's that? What's that? Who are you reading?" It's just something that caught my interest, and if I like it, let me like it, because there are things that you like I could care less about.
But I think Jason was about to hit on it. You've got that's the marketing now, though.
Yeah.
We'll use Batwoman again. You have the star come out and go, this show ain't for old white guys. Which basically you just threw a rock at people. And then when they respond, then they're the bad guys. It's very Hickman's X-Men.
Yeah.
I'm the victim of the shit that I started some kind of way. You could have very easily put out that damn show and not said a fucking word. Just put the damn show out, and whoever watches it, watches it. You don't have to come out going, hey, you. But what did that do?
It started press.
It's free press.
It's the thing of there's no such thing as bad press.
People either know you exist or they don't.
You say that, but then all the Star Wars merchandise sits on the shelf now.
Yeah.
Well, the trick is that's a little different in that they had an established fandom that they said fuck off.
Yeah,
they tried to do the same thing that Batwoman did. Batwoman had 1.8 million viewers. Its opening night. Probably about half of them were people going, I just want to see how this fucking train wreck goes, because the marketing is cringy. So it's curiosity.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna like this crap, but I'll watch it.
If you take a product that's been out 40 years and go, okay, that stuff that you enjoyed for the first 35 years? Fuck that. all of a sudden, all those people are like, "What do you mean?"
Now, one exception to that is Old Spice. Because they stopped marketing to men.
That is true. They market to women to buy the Old Spice for their men.
Yeah, they immediately changed their marketing practice to targeting women. But they did not specifically change their marketing to say, men, we are not selling to you.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
It's insulting your customer, which is what Star Wars managed to do. Star Wars basically said, all you people that was buying, all you guys was buying $120 lightsabers, fuck you. Then when they go, well, then I'm not buying your product anymore. Well, why ain't you buying my product? Because you told me to fuck off.
But then that's also getting a little off topic of fandom, because the fandom kind of swerved for a little bit and then set course and went, no, okay, yeah, we kind of agree. This is not how Star Wars should really be handling it right now. There's still a collection, but you can tell from the boycotts of Solo and stuff that it.
Well, that I don't really only use that in that was one where it didn't work. It's where these marketing companies have realized that fandom's very kind of polarized, and
there's a herd mentality. You can get a decent chunk of the herd.
If you pick the right side in the argument of that, because you can manipulate which side of the argument you're on pretty easily by just tossing a rock at one side or the other.
All it takes is a tweet or two.
Yeah. So it's just the marketing is pick a side, and if you happen to pick the majority, you've got a hit.
Well, Joker threw a rock at the other side. The response to Joker, like if you look at people talking about it, yeah, it's that side that was like pissed off at Captain Marvel. That's them throwing a rock at the other side, because you had Todd Phillips get on and go, yeah, woke culture's killed comedy, and you had that other side basically go, huh? Oh, I got to go support this movie, despite the fact that it's not really Jokerish. It's Taxi Driver. It's rehash shit, but I'm going because by God, he's flipping his nose at woke culture. Which means they played your ass and got you to go and really support some shit that, it ain't.
Surprise, surprise, you're the clowns that got played to go watch a clown movie.
Yeah.
But talking about comedy, clown movies, whatnot like that, John Cleese, the one that's the Monty Python.
Yeah, he's one of the Monty
He's
Python.
one of the Monty Python.
He's one of the minty.
He's a minty Python.
He was talking about something in an interview once, that he doesn't go to colleges and do, interviews anymore. He doesn't do any kind of stand-up in certain places, because the last time he was at a college, he was being asked some questions, and he was responding as, the character from the Monty Python show. And he said, all these young liberals got offended. And he goes, when I say these young liberals, it was a class that, had nothing to do with liberal in its title. It was, arts and entertainment type thing. But he said everyone took it so personally what I said, and that wasn't what I said. It wasn't even how the question was phrased. And he said, I realized that the audience has changed as the years have went by. Things that would fly in the 60s and 70s and even in the 80s, you can't give that same response now. And he said the second you do, you're evil, you're racist, you're hateful, you're this, you're that. And he said that's why some of the classics that we call the classics that played during that time frame couldn't play today. And he said, I think you will see the arts and entertainment industry, whether it be written or visual or spoken, suffer for that. And that's exactly what's happening. If Joker, the movie, the way that they are portraying this character, they set it in a time period when this was supposed to be this way. The young kids are going to it thinking, oh, he's crazy because of his surroundings. See, he's right. Try that in your normal everyday life.
No.
See how that flies.
Don't try that in your normal everyday life.
Well, that's me sarcastic. Try that in your normal everyday life.
Sarcasm is one of those kind of things that is them too high. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't do that.
Don't do that in your normal everyday life.
But that was the point he was trying to get across. Is
And I'm not when you hear me bitching about that, I'm not just talking about the liberals either. The conservatives are just like
oh
them.
yeah,
They're literally just like them. Everybody's the damn victim. Everybody is the damn victim.
Well,
if you listen to the kind of right wingish comic fans, they're the victim. Oh, they did this.
go back.
I'm the victim.
Go back to George Carlin. What did he say? The right wing and the left wing, they're both part of the same damn bird.
But that's when I'm talking about judging fandom is, and I've said this to you in private. This stuff was a whole hell of a lot better before it was popular.
Yeah, you hipster.
Well, the hell it was.
Yeah.
Because you got people in there now, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about the X-Men. They don't. They don't give a damn about comics. They don't give a damn about this stuff. But it's a convenient way to be the damn victim and get your damn point, get your damn message out there. And I want to whine. I want to whine, and if you don't whine with me or act like I'm the greatest damn thing since sliced bread,
So don't pay $5 an issue for my whining.
yeah, then there's something wrong with you. And that shit's old. It's well past old, and it's killing the damn hobby.
Yeah, well, comic sales have been going down for quite a while. You had a little burst in the 90s, and then when that bubble popped, it's been a steady downhill since then. Marvel specifically, though, has kind of done a nosedive recently.
So just wait for it to get small enough again,
Basically,
and you'll like it
you
again.
got a bunch of people using it as a soapbox, and once they burn that soapbox down, if there's anything left, it won't be big enough to be the
You
platform.
pull up those ashes and you make a sandcastle, and you've got your sandbox again. It's just a little dirty.
It smells funny.
You just don't think about where the sand came from, and it's fun as all get out again.
That's sick.
Well, you burned wood. You ain't burning people.
Now your point.
We need to watch and make sure he's not throwing dead birds.
Nobody cares about the dead bird thing.
I know.
Literally nobody. It's just us.
There's just two people that watched it a lot, privately.
We watch a lot of it. I'm just one of the two. Anybody got any other opinion?
I think we've covered it pretty well.
But yeah, it's one of those kind of things where Jesus H. Christ, it's getting old to the point where you're making it where it's not even really fun discussing this shit anymore.
Yeah, it sucks the joy out of it.
Cause there's a right answer. That's the big problem. It's all of a sudden art, there's a right answer. Your opinion, there's a right answer.
There's a right answer to do you like this, but somehow someone else decided what the answer was.
Right. And hell, it's hell. We give Danny crap all the time about his taste in movies. Don't listen to him when it comes to movies. His taste in movies sucks. But Danny's not a bad person. It's not even hell. You can't even just go, well, I read Hickman's X-Men. I like it. You can't just go, well, hell, you got bad taste. It's got to be, well, there's something obviously wrong with you, and here's all the reasons why you were wrong for not liking what the fuck you didn't like. If you didn't like it, you just didn't like the damn thing.
Well, once again, we're in the age where you can look up all the information, understand it completely. How do you not like this when you can understand it completely?
Well, see, the problem is...
Do you understand it completely, though? Because, well, here's that thing of the spoiler. In Powers of 10 number 6, a couple years started. In Powers of 10 number 6, you find out that the AI is not the problem. People in their war with mutants basically used the machines to gain them time to learn how to genetically manipulate themselves to give themselves powers. And they became post-human. Moira finds out that's why we lost this go-round, is the post-human. So, for those of you that are simple, I'm going to spell it out to you real easy. In the old X-Men comics, why did humans hate mutants? Because mutants were going to replace them and they were facing extinction. Why does X-Men despise the post-human? Because post-humans are going to replace them and the mutants are faced with extinction. It's the same damn motivation.
I would like to say it's the same motivation, but in the first stanza, the humans are saying, we're facing extinction, but do not have proof of that.
Other than looking at Neanderthal.
Other than the fact that they can look at
It is clearly a superior species. It's going to take
replace us.
Except it only kind of sort of bursts into existence because of some things that don't continue to carry on.
If you break it down and look at it really closely, yes, mutants as a species doesn't actually work. Because it'd be like each type would be a different species rather than...
And that's actually part of Hickman's thing, is he goes, mutants are a response to the environment, and what humans did, we took the environmental equation out of it. So if a human decides I want super strength and shoot power blast and all that kind of, I can do that.
They took the it's still basically evolution, but they took
the randomness out of it. And mutants, Moira and Wolverine, are looking at that going, that's the end of us because we're standing in a fucking zoo. It's the end of us. That was always the humans' fear in X-Men, is these fuckers are going to replace us the way Homo sapiens sapiens replaced Neanderthal, and we're going to end up in a zoo somewhere. And when you got somebody like Magneto saying, we're your new gods here, that makes perfect fucking sense. They just gave the Klan a point, and they became exactly what they hated. Yeah. They've been fighting that shit since the 60s, and and Hickman literally just turned them into it. That's
be his point. I'm curious to
And that's the thing. That's why I'm telling you, I like the story, because I think that's his point. I don't think he did that by accident.
No.
But the fan reaction is, yeah, it's finally this, and you do this. And when I just said, they gave him the same over, oh, no, they didn't, you hate this, and you don't like his run and all that. I ain't said a bit of that, but what I said is factual, and if you don't believe me, go back and read Powers of 10, number 6. That is exactly what he has done. The humans feared the mutants. The mutants, in response to the humans' fear, basically said, we're going to take over. The response to them going, we're going to take over, was the humans start genetically modifying themselves to give themselves powers to create the post-human, and now it's one big damn chain. Humans feared mutants because they were going to replace them. Mutants feared post-humans because they're going to replace them. It's all one big fucking clusterfuck.
I'd still be willing to argue in the secondary case, there's more evidence that it would happen because you're physically seeing it, whereas, well, what about Neanderthal? We don't have any record of that.
I'm God here. They're telling you. You don't have to see it. I don't have to show you if I tell you. I'm your new God. I am going to take over.
Yeah,
I am
one
going
dude
to
shows
run
up
you.
and says that.
Xavier told the whole planet that shit.
Yeah, after being convinced by one crazy person who did a bunch of crazy person.
You can't go, well, it's one crazy when the entire species is working together.
Yep.
Yeah, when you can mentally manipulate people, yeah, you can cause an entire species to suddenly turn crazy.
Well, if you're the other species facing it, though,
you
can't go, well, it might be mind control. No,
yeah,
we gotta take over.
That's
we gotta
the second
ourselves.
stanza over here. I'm talking about the first stanza, old X-Men, which you're saying they had the motivation. In old X-Men, the humans don't have any proof of that. Because they didn't jump up and claim that yet in the original run.
Let's just look. What that is just looking at how evolution works. The superior species eventually runs the inferior ones into extinction. It's why you don't have very many like marsupials anywhere except Australia. They survived there because they got isolated. Everywhere else, they were inferior and they got, except for possums, and they got run out of existence.
And you also had, if you want to talk about it in the original run, only the quote-unquote evil mutants were public. The X-Men hid. The X-Men hid. It was maybe there's a secret school of mutants. Maybe these folks came out and did that. The X-Men never did a press conference, because that was actually the whole astonishing run of X-Men, with Cyclops going, we've saved the world I don't know how many times, but nobody really knows it except like the Avengers or some shit. We need to get out and show people, hey, we're heroes. We're a group of mutant heroes.
Yeah.
Where Magneto would hold a press conference on your ass. You sons of bitches going out, and we coming in. F you. Well, that's going... And truthfully, if you wanted to use the thing, well, it's not everybody. It wasn't all humans. In San Francisco, they love the X-Men.
That's true.
Not everybody Not everybody created a Sentinel. In fact, the Sentinels were basically originally the Trask family. It was one damn family that went, yeah, these sons of bitches got to go. So it wasn't everybody, but it's one of those kind of things where you go, if I drop my ice cream cone into a pile of dog shit, it's all dog shit.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna sit there and go, well, I can kind of eat this part and this part.
But either way, it still all comes around to there's no hero in this story.
Right.
Yeah.
It's two people in a conflict that you can't really see how they can sort it out.
And that's the thing that you find out in that is Marvel basically comes back, yeah, the secret that we're keeping from everybody is we always lose. Well, you always lose because there ain't no win, and there's no win in bigotry. There ain't none. If you basically become just like the son of a bitch that you're fighting, there ain't no win. It's a never-ending, ever-escalating
And when it's all said and done, yeah, the humans are already extinct by that point.
Yeah.
Because the post-humans are something different.
Yeah.
The trick is, to some degree, when you're talking about going from one species to the next, is you're thinking about it as, oh, all of these died off. Well, no, their descendants are still there. The descendants are just something a little different.
But I said all that basically to go back to the original topic is you can't critique the story without hating the story. Hell, you can't mention something that you see that they didn't without hating the damn story. There's no part. I love that fucking run. I hate that all the books ain't Hickman. He's the one. Hell, I like Hickman as a writer. Hell, he was the one that recouped Black Panther. Shit, in Fantastic Four. I loved his run on Avengers. I like dude's stuff. But by that same token, I actually pay attention to his damn story.
Yeah.
And what you seeing is a lot of, well, I've decided I like Hickman's run. Period. Well, what's the story about? Well, it's just the barest surface something. So some of the backlash I got from that, I wonder if you actually fucking read the damn thing.
I don't think some folks do.
Because truthfully, if you read Hickman's run, this was a big reveal. Because up until now, if you paid any damn attention, you thought the problem was going to be the AIs.
Yeah.
Because you have the mother mold as it's floating into the sun, basically going, humans are our god, you are the titans, and your children sit below and judge you both. So, at that point I was thinking, oh, the humans and mutants are going to have to get their damn heads together, else they're going to be living in the fucking Terminator future. Oh, that's good and fucked up. And then you end up finding out, nope.
But you got that stage where Nimrod's running around that it looks like that's exactly where it's going.
And that was one of the lines from that is when this post-human is confessing to Gamora and Wolverine, he said the Sentinels gave us years. The Nimrods gave us decades. Because all behind the scenes, humans were sitting there going, we're going to give ourselves powers, and we're going to take the randomness out of it. And that was the whole fucking plot. And she goes back, she dies and goes back to let mutants know, oh shit, I didn't have you focusing on Nimrods and shit the whole damn time. It's the people. It's the people that's gonna fuck you up.
And in that timeline, Sinister betrayed him, didn't he? And he's all about genetic manipulation now. That makes a lot of sense.
And Sinister is still there, and that's the thing. You never win. You don't win becoming like your damn enemy. You just, the system has to go. He's showing you that the system is fucked up. You got to trash that system, and if you don't, that was the thing, was the Phalanx was coming the next day to eat the fucking planet. They were going to absorb all the post-humans because they were both, the post-humans in the 1,000-year timeline were both biological and technological. They had not only given themselves superpowers, they merged with machines. So to make sure that they didn't have to worry about a mutant, they made themselves superior. But they are facing the end of everything. And the whole reason why this one was telling them that was like, well, you know, tomorrow we get absorbed into the Phalanx, and then the Phalanx goes to the nearest black hole, and we become basically part of a god being that's in that black hole. And that's how we exist, as a sentient piece of God. And it's like, I don't really know if I want to give up my individuality, so do we, because he was trying to make up his mind, do I let you die when they take out the planet, where you go back in time and you have a chance, if you can erase this timeline before we get to that black hole, then this is all erased, and I get to maybe gain my individuality, or do I send you to another planet, go and merge and be part of the Godhead outside of space and time, where we can stop, where I can stop you whenever the hell we feel like it, because we're outside of time. And that was the conundrum going back and forth. But yeah, it was all said and done to basically give the X-Men, that version of the X-Men that you're reading in the House of X, had the exact same fucking motivation as humans. They're trying not to be extinct. And they are going to all kinds of lengths, right up to dealing drugs to people,
Cloning their dead cells.
to keep from going extinct. That's their whole point. And that's from somebody that liked the book and actually read it. Yay, reading comprehension. Don't argue with me. I ain't nicknamed the one who knows some bullshit. Hell, I'm into this crap. So, that's the end of my rant. I feel cleansed. I feel all old, ready to go tell some people get the hell off my lawn.
Feels like you just had an enema. It's just all cleaned out.
Great, you did that in my geek room.
Oh, you're hosting. So
Covered with nerd
if
shit.
you're ready to wrap up, do the wrap up.
It's covered with nerd shit.
It is.
So anyway, that's been this week's episode of Man, We're Too Old for This. Proving that, by God, I am damn old. I am the Todd Father, and joining me as always,
The experience that some call Jason.
CVL 113.
I am here.
I think
Tarky.
I think Tarky died
Yeah, I think he dozed off for a little bit there.
with his eyes open. That was all creepy. So anyway, see you guys next week.